we decided maybe we would come together and have a guest. And so we invited Steve Hardesty to come back. And Steve was the pro at Salina Municipal, and he's held a number of different roles. And so we thought that'd be a great deal, and Steve and his wife Marv came back, and we're just really tickled that they are here. So I'm gonna give a short, brief intro here for Steve, and give you a little bit about his background. He grew up in Topeka, graduated from Washburn, professional career as an assistant pro. He started at the Lawrence Country Club. 95, he became the head pro at the Salina Municipal Golf Course. 23 years of service to the city of Salina with various positions, including Deputy Director of Parks and Recreation. During his time in Salina, he, along with Bill Knox, co-founded the First Tee. And I can't say enough about our founding members to have the foresight to do this. Salina is a pretty small community to have a First Tee chapter. I'm not sure if we tried to go get one today, they would let us have one. But we're strong, and they're certainly glad that we do have one, and I'm glad that we have that as well. He's a two-time Midwest Section Junior Golf Leader Award, and as the chapter grew, Steve held the titles of First Tee Coach, Executive Director, which is what I'm currently doing. You probably did it a whole lot better than me, Steve. Currently resides with his wife in Casa Grande, Arizona, where he is the general manager for a large-scale HOA country club called Cottonwood, Palo Verde. We are very excited to have him come back, and he's got, I think, a couple cool things here if I don't wander around getting the PowerPoint up. But would like to welcome Steve Hardesty back and have him visit with us.
We're going to do this the low-tech way. I'll prompt Ken. First, I want to thank the members of the board, Ken, Mike Hargrave, Camille, everybody in the audience for having me back. As you know, Salina is a really special place. We lived here for more than 20 years, raised our children, and made this our home. Being away for a few years has made us realize that not every town is able to pull off what Salina has. Places like the Steeple Theater, Salina Baseball, the Downtown Project, you can award it once, and the First Tee don't happen without the kind of partnerships that is business as usual here in Salina. Trust me, many communities want these things, but aren't willing to put in the work and resources to make them happen. Also want to thank my family. They're over here. Got 4 of my 5 kids, my son-in-law and my wife. So thanks everybody for coming. At different times, they all attended First Tee classes, but none of them ended up working in the golf business like me. None of them went to college, but they all play. They all are involved in their communities and their golf. So at this time, I want to take a couple of minutes and show you a video about the history of the First Tee. Fast forward one more, and then. Okay. And we're going to hear from Bill Knox. Oh, yes.
Is it large?
Yep, everything looks good.
Hello, my name is Bill Knox. I serve on the USGA Sectional Affairs Committee in Kansas, and I'm also the president of the First Tee in Salina. We've recently completed the community project to build a 6-hole par 3 golf course in our community. And we're nearing completion of a youth clubhouse that includes a pro shop, classroom facility, and club storage, all for youth use in our community. Our mission is to teach life skills to young people in our community while they learn and play the great game of golf. It all began in the mid-year 1999.
Everybody ready to golf this morning?
Steve Hardesty, PGA USGA golf professional at the Salina Municipal Golf Course, was completing a 6-week summer junior golf program, and most of the children were coming to him and asking to play the 18-hole course. Like every year, he had to tell them to come back, maybe at 4 o'clock, and perhaps he could get them on the golf course. In previous years, he had mowed circles in the weeds on a 13-acre tract adjacent to the golf course, put it in a cup and a flag stick, and told the children to go play. Most of his juniors had no place to play, and many lost interest. The year before, Steve had written the USGA Foundation in Colorado Springs requesting a grant to make a short course on the adjacent land. The foundation could not approve the grant without a more complete plan. They needed documentation on budget and course availability to youth regardless of race, gender, or financial status. Course maintenance and long-term potential of the program were also important issues. In the middle of 1999, we came up with the following issues that needed to be solved. Would the Salina City Commission approve construction if it could be funded? Would the city share some of the construction costs? Could we raise the remaining funds necessary to complete the project? Would the City Parks and Recreation Department approve considerable youth priority time on the course, and would they sign a contract to guarantee it? Would the green fees be affordable to all young people? After talking with officials from the First Tee World of Golf Foundation, we estimated the total cost would be $600,000. To raise this amount of capital, we decided to ask the city to contribute $200,000 and ask the USGA Foundation and the First Tee for $100,000 grants. Then we would raise the remaining $200,000 from local businesses and individuals. We also determined we needed to organize a prominent group of local citizens to support the effort. To gain approval of our city commission for the project, we started recruiting board members and formed a 501c3 corporation. We got busy with grant applications and scheduled our project on the city commission meeting agenda. Our entire board of directors attended the meeting, and after all the required time and announcements to the public, they approved our project with youth priority and agreed to contribute $200,000, providing we were successful in raising the remaining $400,000. We proceeded on blind faith that we could raise the money. The USGA grant application asked for complete information, and after an official on-site visit from Foundation people in Colorado Springs, we were notified of approval of their challenge grant. The First Tee grant was also successful. The day after our city commission approved our project, there was a front page article in our local newspaper that gave publicity to our plan. That evening I received a phone call from a prominent local citizen. He was the chairman of the trustees of a recently established charitable foundation funded from the estate of a very successful Salina businesswoman. The foundation goal was to support youth projects in Salina, and the trustee told me they might be interested in supporting this project. After several meetings with him, answering many of the same questions on our USGA grant application, he called to say their board had approved $200,000 toward a successful completion of our project. His phone call was like a message from heaven. In addition to the construction budget being fully funded, we added the construction of a practice chipping green and 2 bunkers, and we have raised over $100,000 for a permanent endowment fund. We plan to use annual income from this fund to enhance the instruction and youth program at our 6-hole course. To date, we have over 120 contributors to this fund. Steve Hardesty, who I mentioned earlier, is the professional at Salina Municipal Golf Course, also heads up the local programming for our First Tee program.
The best aspect of this project is to improve and expand our program. Before, we had many kids taking golf lessons, but that's pretty much where it ended. Now we have many more kids taking lessons and also taking life skills in a classroom and on a real golf course as well.
That's the end of the video.
So the video goes on for quite a bit, but I just wanted to show a little bit of the history, and obviously without Bill Knox's help and the Berlin Nesbitt Johnson Foundation, the First Tee wouldn't exist. So looking through some of my old articles, I do have a scrapbook over there. And it was interesting, back in 2001, Brendan Schlew made the first ever hole-in-one at the First Tee, hitting a 7-iron on hole number 5. So that was a pretty fun day. Go ahead and advance. At this time, I want to keep in mind the original mission of the First Tee, and that's to impact the lives of young people through the game of golf. And if you think about 25 years, that's thousands and thousands of kids that have learned to play golf and learned the life-enhancing values right here. Some of them sit on the very board and are coaches today. That is real impact. Go ahead, one more. So for me, the First Tee was really life-changing. Originally, I just wanted a place where more kids could play, where high school teams could practice, and where Mike and I could teach some lessons and not take up so much space on the range. And little did I know that things like the 9 core values, go ahead, one more, continuous learning, positive reinforcement. If you've ever been through the coaching programs, you'll see all of these things. And so that really changed my life. Go ahead, one more. I was in meetings right in the beginning where the curriculum in the national level was being developed. Key leaders in the game of golf and youth development and personal learning got together. You won't know these people, but Mike and I can remember Coach Al, Coach Linda, Coach Beth, Coach Eric, Lynn and Pia, and many, many others. Go ahead. And one of the things I realized about it, it's all about relationships. And because of those relationships, it's not only coach to coach, go ahead one more. It can be coach to kid and all throughout. And so during my career, some of the relationships that I developed, I'm going to name drop here for just a second. I have stories about each one of these folks, and I'm not going to bore you with the details, but I do want to highlight some of them. Tom Watson, I got to spend a couple days with Tom Watson at Pebble Beach. What an experience. Byron Nelson, got to shake his hand. He has a gigantic, huge, soft, strong hand, which is amazing. Tom Kite, I stood on the 18th tee at Pebble Beach with Tom Kite, and he explained how his company designed the rocks to keep that tee from eroding away. I was inside the ropes and got to walk with major championship winners Hale Irwin and Scott Simpson. Grant Herrenberg and I got to play a 9-hole practice round with Tom Lehman. That was pretty fun. I spent many, many hours with Annika Sorenstand's instructor, who's named Pia Nilsson. I got to eat lunch a couple times with Tiger's original instructor, Rudy Duran. He wrote a great book about youth learning. And finally, I got to meet people like George Bush, David Ferry, and Renee Powell, because they were speakers at some of the national events. Go ahead, one more. So the relationships are coach to student, coach to coach, student to student, parent to student. One more. The list really goes on and on. And this kind of shows our parents, our coaches, our youth coaches, up and down the line, all the different age groups. So one more. So in closing, the backbone of the First Tee is to give kids an opportunity, provide a positive environment, and see what happens. This environment is where a little girl can learn to love the game, like this girl here. One more. And a couple short years later, have the courage to play with Tom Watson. One more. Same environment where a group of kids, you can't see this very well, but a group of kindergarten kids love the game so much, they ended up with college scholarships, go ahead, and entry into successful careers. One more. This same environment, oops, go back one, sorry. Here we go. You're fine. Those, the Smith boys. Here? Yep. This same environment where two kids hung around the First Tee so much, and they love sports. They love sports. Move it one more. And now one of them plays golf at UTEP, and the other is a decorated high school football player. So it's not just golf. And one more here. And this final picture isn't a before and after, It's really just some of the smiles and memories that have been created by the impact of the First Tee. Last one. So really, I only have one question for you, is what impact will you make in the next 20 years? Thank you.
They will be here next year, and they're going to tell you about their experience at Pebble Beach. But this year we decided to just kind of do a format where they came up at the same time and I'll kind of ask them a few questions. We'll take about 10 minutes here and we'll see what they have to say. So we're going to start with an easy one, and we're going to have each one of them tell you their name and where they go to school.
Hello, my name is Mason, and I go to Cornerstone Classical School.
Hi, I'm Bryn. I'm 9, and I go to Coronado Elementary.
I'm Viviana, and I go to school at Coronado Elementary.
I'm Red. I'm 7 years old, and I go to the Minneapolis school.
All right. So we have 4 kids here: Vivi, Mason, Bryn, and Rhett. I just want to get this in. Vivi is the daughter of Orlando and Atlanta Carmona. Mason is the son of Patrick and Nicole Leonard. Bryn is the daughter of Brett and Lindsay Wilson. And Rhett is the son of Jason and Kim Bird. Okay? So we're gonna go through a few questions here. And these guys, they're gonna do great. I can feel it already. So how long have you been doing the First Tee, Mason?
Probably about 2 years.
Okay. And then what is your favorite thing about First Tee?
Just the golf course, the par 3 is just fun to play with other people on it.
All right, good. I'm going to give you the same 2 questions. How does that sound, Brad? So how long have you been doing First Tee?
2 years.
Okay. And what's your favorite part of First Tee?
Going on the driving range and just hitting balls.
Well, can't blame her for that. I like to do that too. All right, Vivi, same questions. How long have you been in First Tee?
About 6 years now.
She's a pro, 6 years, okay? And what's your favorite part of First Tee?
Doing the stations, and my favorite station is doing the driving range and just hitting the ball as hard as you can.
Very good. And Rhett is, I don't know if you heard, he's from Minneapolis, and I'll explain that here in a minute. Rhett, what was your favorite part this summer?
Probably about getting the driver out and hitting.
All right, good. Now, Rhett is from Minneapolis, and I should have mentioned this earlier. We actually started programming in Minneapolis this year. So this is the first time we've expanded for a little while. And we actually took a couple coaches up there, and we had some coaches from Minneapolis that helped us, and we did programming in Minneapolis at their golf course. It really was a great start, and so thankful that they're part of us. And we have Jason is on our board. Jason Bird is on our board to represent Minneapolis. And so we feel like we're off to a great start there and really, really enjoyed getting up there with those kids. Okay, we talk about key commitments and core values. Now I'm going to get serious with you here. Look at Mason. Mason looks like he's ready. I'm going to start on this end, Mason. That's going, oh, great. Okay, do you remember anything we talked about this summer? What would be a key commitment or a core value that you think is important to you?
Responsibility.
Okay, and why do you think responsibility is important? It's okay to say because Mom and Dad said it's important.
Moral support.
Okay, very good, thank you. What about you, Vivi?
Mine is pursuing goals, because if you don't have goals, then you'll go nowhere in life.
Excellent, thank you. Brent?
Honesty, because honesty is like a big part of your life, and it just helps you get out of trouble.
You can't get in trouble if you're honest. There is a chance, Brent, you do something bad and you're honest and you're still in trouble. Just let me know. All right, that's a great answer, Brent. What about you, Mason?
Using good judgment, because if you don't use good judgment on other people, they probably won't use it on you.
Excellent.
They'll just talk to you.
Perfect, thank you. All right, now let me look at my things here. Okay, so one of the things we talk about in our classes is we want to apply the things that you just talked about to other parts of your life, specifically school. How can you apply using good judgment to school? Not sure?
Maybe like if somebody like they got bad grades, say, hey, you can try and do it next time. I think you can do it.
We like that positive stuff, don't we? Yeah, all right, excellent, excellent. Okay, now, we're gonna shift gears just a little bit, okay? I wanna go through each one of you and find out what else you do besides golf, okay? Rhett, I'm coming down to you first. Actually, I'm gonna start with Vivi. You can think on it. Vivi, what activities are you involved in?
Volleyball, taekwondo, and theater.
That's well-rounded right there, folks. I don't even know for sure what taekwondo is, but I don't think I want to mess with her. Okay, what about you, Britt?
I mostly do dance, and I used to play soccer. I play basketball with my aunt, and I go swimming a lot.
Excellent. Mason, what activities?
I do tennis, theater, and I do math with a teacher.
Excellent. And by the way, Mason told me he loves math. I said, well, that's half the battle right there. Brett, what about you? What other things do you do?
Football practice, soccer, and baseball.
Excellent. And so when we talk to these young kids, we want them to be involved in golf, but we want them to be involved in a lot of different activities. We want them to be well-rounded and do those types of things. Okay, I'm going to throw a little lob ball at you here, and we're about ready to be done with this. What's your favorite thing to eat? Quickly.
Sushi.
Sushi. All right. We got a pretty skilled palate up here with this.
Candy.
Now we're talking candy. All right.
Steak.
High rollers here.
Vegetables.
I love it. I love it. That feels like a coached answer, Jason. Again, I'm not sure. No, I'm just kidding. He probably likes his veggies, definitely. Okay, excellent. Okay, this is going to be the final question tonight, then we're going to let you guys go sit down. If you could play a round of golf with anybody in the world, who would it be and why?
If I could play a round of golf with anyone, it would probably be Albert Einstein because I love math and science and greatest one ever.
Excellent, excellent. All right, Brent, what do you think?
So my grandpa, I used to call him Granty. He passed, but every summer he would take me out into his backyard and he would teach me how to play golf. So he would hit a couple balls, and then he would let me like chip them and like put them.
So just one more time with Grandpa, huh?
Yeah.
Excellent. Vivi?
I'd say Rosa Parks because I'd love to hear about her life story and how she battled through all those challenges.
Rosa Parks, if you didn't hear that. Brett, what do you think?
Tyree Hill.
Tyreek Hill? I love this. Are you faster than Tyreek?
Probably.
Okay. As you can see, and what I wanted to do is give you a little taste of the kids that we get to deal with, and they're just wonderful kids. Parents, you did a beautiful job with these young people up here, and we just have a ton of fun with them, and we hope that they continue to stick with golf, but more importantly, they continue to be great kids like they are today. One more time for our kids, and you guys can go back.